My name is David Steinbach with Custom Breed Leather Designs here in Wichita, Kansas, and if you're not in the now, you are in the nothing. So we're hanging out here with Amanda Craig and Tom Lamb from In the Now magazine, and we're going to talk a little bit about what I do.
So let's kind of start everything off with is how did this whole thing come about for you?
This started several years ago when I started really getting interested in the custom motorcycle industry. I was seeing a lot of handmade seats that were going on some of the bikes. And then I was introduced to a couple by the name of Hank and Dee Shell, and they kind of got me going. They were doing it, and they kind of showed me some things. They're the first kind of people to introduce me to it live. I've seen it done in videos, instructional videos and stuff like that, and they've been doing it for a long time, and they kind of got me my start, and I just kind of took off from there. And I've been doing it for about roughly about 4 or 5 years now, and just kind of getting to the point where I'm comfortable putting some stuff out for people and having a lot of fun with it and learning something new. Every piece I make, I kind of learn something new about it, so it's always learning something new, and then the stuff that I come up with. And most of the stuff that I do is custom made for people. If they have an idea, they come to me about it, and I just kind of make it in my head. I usually make it maybe about 20 times in my head before I actually make it live, so hopefully it turns out the way I like it, but not always. So. But anyway, most of it starts with raw leather, and then like the customer has a design, something like this, just real simple, or some of the jewelry that I've been making. The cuffs are getting pretty popular, people, belts, knife sheaths, stuff like that, but most of it starts off as just a raw piece of leather. You can see over here I got my shelf with just kind of rolls of different thicknesses and such. And then once you get kind of the design you want in, you can use this tool, which is called a swivel knife here. This is kind of the main tool that you need when you start carving leather. So no material is actually taken out when you're doing this, so you're just basically use this as you would a knife, and you'll just kind of start, and you can actually drive the knife with your fingers. And I'll just make something real simple like a star.
Now, do you think having like an art background is important when doing something like this?
Yeah, sure, but I think anybody can really learn how to do it. You don't necessarily have to be an artist to do it. I think just with a little bit of practice and ambition, I think you can do it. Same with drawing. I think anybody can draw or paint or anything like that. It's just kind of a matter of how bad they want to paint or draw. Mm-hmm. I think everybody has a little bit of artistic ability in them. You just kind of have to bring it out.
And do you remember what your first piece that you ever created was?
The first piece I did was maybe just like a motorcycle piston. I wanted to do something like that. I mean, I've messed around with different shapes like this, and then I really wanted to create a picture, an image, so I started with skulls were popular, pistons, motorcycle parts, stuff like that. So basically, when you get a design, something simpler like a star, and you want to kind of make it come to life like this skull, you take a tool called a beveler, and you'll just get a hammer out, and you'll just kind of start on the line right here, and you just kind of tediously beat this down until it kind of comes to life. You can kind of see it. See it come to life there, which you want to pop up or you want to sink down. And after you've gone all this, you kind of get the image going on like you see here. So you could just work your way around this entire star. Depending on how hard you hit it, the deeper, obviously the tool will go.
So how many pieces would you say that you, let's say, messed up before you finally got the hang of it?
Oh, you just trial and error. Like I said, the first time you do it, you can just start with basically carving a line in it, and then you just kind of beat one side down, and you kind of get used to how these tools are used. You can see here there's several tools out there. This is maybe just a small fraction of what's available out there as far as the bevelers and And you get these what they call a pair shader. You can really go in there and get some good shadows coming around, like I would use in the eye right here. If you wanted to create some imprints in here, you just kind of drive this. When you're making something for somebody and they kind of have a vision, and then you kind of got to bring it to life. Like I said, I always try to make it in my head a couple times before I actually sit down to it. And then you get something tricky, like when I did Amanda's In and Out cuff, you know, with the logo. You guys kind of have the hash marks and stuff around the letters, and that was the first time I attempted something like that, so that was pretty cool. I actually used a wood burner to create the hash marks, and then I flooded them with the dye. So, and then I would just push the black dye into the red, and it kind of turned out pretty cool. I was pretty happy with the way it turned out. I'm gonna do another one, and I think I'm gonna add a little bit of material so it's not choking her wrist out.
Yeah, it turned out really awesome. On the subject of that, have you ever come across somebody that's brought an idea to you that you're like, man, I don't think I can do that?
I'll attempt it, and then if it doesn't work out, you know, we'll gonna go a different avenue, or I'll just, you know, I do a lot of motorcycle seats too, where sometimes the hand stitching isn't always the best option. So I work pretty close with an upholsterer here in Wichita, and we kind of collaborate on a couple seats in the past. A lot of the traditional old school motorcycle seats are hand sewn, and then a lot of the newer stuff is machine sewn from the factory. So I'll just lay some panels in there. Like this is kind of the more traditional style seat that people are doing on kind of Holden built bikes. So you can just basically sandwich this with 2 pieces of leather, and then I can hand stitch it around. So whereas you get a seat like this is a more modern motorcycle seat that has a machine stitch in here. So we'll this seat I'm gonna just lay a tool panel in, and we're gonna keep this design, and then I'll just take it to the upholsterer and we'll collaborate on the overall design of this. So that's the projects that I have coming up next. But most everything is hand sewn, like the cuffs I make. This is an assembly. It's called a stitching pony. So all the stuff that you see, like the bag I recently made, and then the stitching on the cuffs, and everything else is basically locked into the stitching pony. And you basically sit here, and you just kind of tediously sew. This is kind of a form of therapy, actually.
It seems like it.
But
you can kind of just zone out.
Yeah, you stab your finger a couple times, but you know, the belts and the straps that I make, you know, you got some pretty long runs on them, so you can be sitting here for a while and you just kind of crank the tunes up.
Just kind of get in your own little world.
Yeah, and just kind of do your thing. Pretty soon you look up and like 6 hours have gone by. I'll be down in this room and look up and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and you realize you got to go to work in a couple hours. But anyway, that's pretty much how this is used. A lot of people ask me, you know, how'd you sew that or whatever, and then when I tell them it's hand sewn, they kind of give me that look like, are you nuts? I think you have to kind of be a little bit nuts, you know, sit down here for a couple hours and do it. But pretty much this is how it's done. You just kind of back and forth. It's actually a really strong stitch that you can't get with a machine, so it's pretty cool.
Let's talk a little bit about the company name. How did you decide on that?
I kicked around a company name for several years. I've been wanting to launch a couple different things, and something custom for sure, because it's all custom done, and then the breed kind of came along as it just kind of fit, you know. It just kind of seemed like people who wear this kind of stuff or are into this kind of stuff, whether it's metal, you know, metal themed, rock and roll themed, or Renaissance themed, or steampunk themed, or anything like that, you know. Anybody that kind of wears this decorative stuff is kind of a different breed in themselves, you know what I mean? They're kind of making a statement, like someone who has tattoos or piercings or something like that. So most of the stuff, since it's custom made and it's for a certain type of people who really like to express themselves, I just kind of put the two together and came up with the custom breed. So.
Well, let's talk about all the pieces that you've already done. Is there one that is your particular favorite one? I know each one of them probably has a special meaning to you because you created them.
One of the bigger landmark pieces was some of the stuff that I did for J-Bomb of the Sex Slaves. That kind of, you know, pushed me a little bit, limits, you know, what he wanted me to make him. I did a belt and buckle combo for him, and I originally did a cuff for him, and it just kind of came about in a conversation one time. We shared the stage with them. I think the second time we started talking about kind of the New York scene and what's going on over there and different styles and this, and I just kind of asked him if he'd be interested in something like that, and you know, just kind of one thing led to another, and the more I was doing it for people, the more they were kind of pushing me to launch this whole thing. So I thought the time was right, and that was kind of a landmark time for the company to kind of take off. And those guys are awesome. I got some things I'm making for Dale Cheetah right now. I got a bass trap that's going to be completed for him when they get back from Europe in the next couple, I think about a week or so. They're going to be back to the States. So I'm excited to get that to him. I know he's kind of excited for it. So that's kind of another thing that I'm doing for those guys. And they've helped me out tremendously with you know, pushing the company and throwing it out there for people to check out. So, and then of course Jen, my beautiful girlfriend, she's always telling me, you gotta put this stuff out there, you gotta put this stuff out there, you gotta make a Facebook page, you gotta, you know, so she's always constantly pushing me, and which helps a lot, you know. So, and I made her piece. Her piece is probably one of my favorites too, because it was special like that, you know. So
nice. Now you're talking a little bit about sharing the stage with Sex Slaves. Let's talk a little bit about your musical background. I mean, you've been in the scene for quite a while.
Yeah, I think I got 20 years under my belt now. I'm 33 this year, and I've been in and out of bands since I was about 12 or 13. So I've been in Wichita for maybe 5 years now, and I've only kind of been a part of the music scene in Wichita for maybe a couple years now with the current band that I play in. And it's pretty cool, you know. There's a lot of really good bands in Wichita. There's a lot of good people. There's a good camaraderie. Everybody helps each other. Especially on what happened to Jeff from Beneath the Burning Sun recently. You know, it's amazing to see all the people come together and help him out. And you know, he's a fan of the custom breed stuff, and I recently got to kind of back and forth with him on a thread a while back on the custom breed thing. He was up in the hospital, so you know, watching the community come together, help people out, and the benefits that, you know, the musicians put on for different things and so on and so forth. I mean, it's just really cool for everybody to come together, you know. As much rock stars as we like to think we are, you know, we just kind of all come back down to earth when everybody needs something, you know. So it's pretty cool. And I've seen that in all the music scenes that I've been a part of. You know, I've been pretty fortunate to live in a couple different towns, and you know, they're basically all the same. You know, we're just a bunch of weekend warriors, you know, and some of us get lucky and we're in the right place at the right time, and get to do some cool stuff. So well, that's what it's all about.
Let's talk a little bit about Blacktop. I know you guys haven't been playing shows like normal. Right. What's the status of that band?
It's kind of slowly but surely. We played last night at the Lizard Lounge for the Bikers for Boobs after party. We did an awesome breast cancer benefit yesterday, all-day event, all-night event, and I think we've got a couple shows this year so far, and it's kind of one of those things where everybody's doing their own thing and spending a lot of time with family and taking care of that sort of thing. So we get together.
You guys haven't gave up on it then?
No, I don't think there's anybody's gonna give up on it. I think we just know that, you know, family comes first, and we take care of things, and you know, we all have day jobs and that sort of thing. So when we get together and play, we have a lot of fun. There's a lot of energy. Those guys are amazing to play with. You know, Jamie, Aaron, and Chris are some of the funnest guys I've been on stage with in a long time. So
kind of like another form of therapy for you.
Exactly. I got a lot of forms of therapy. So it's pretty cool. I've been playing drums for over 20 years, so I'm pretty fortunate to be able to do that.
What pushed you into wanting to play drums? And
I come from a musical background. My family members were drummers. My parents, both sets of my parents are huge music fans. You know, I grew up listening to some of the best music out there. You know, the Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, all that good stuff. You know, and so they put me in front of a drum set when I was about 10 years old, and I just kind of took off from there. I really didn't want to be a guitar player. I thought they got all the chicks, you know, but it turned out to be a drummer, which is pretty cool because I love beating the shit out of them.
Now, where can our readers find you on the internet?
Basically on Facebook right now is the only thing I got going on, which is I think just enough right now. If you go to Custom Breed Leather Designs / or you know, Facebook, type in Custom Breed Leather Designs, or you can Google Custom Breed Leather Designs. You can find it. It's open, so anybody can go check it out. You can message me from there. Website in the works, that sort of thing. You know, just kind of, it's all starting to kind of come together. The more I do stuff for people, and the more the word gets out there. But right now, the Facebook thing kind of is just enough. So that's where they can check it out.
Cool. Well, man, I think that covered about everything.
Alrighty, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, definitely, man. Appreciate you taking time to chat with us.
Thanks.